Hey folks, Rich here at RCINFORMER.com. Thanks for stopping by and checking out this video on the FMS 1700mm F4U CORSAIR. This plane's from MotionRC, and it's just a tremendous plane, folks. I've been flying it for a few weeks now, and anybody who's used to flying the old wood, fiberglass, gas and glow airplanes, this will give you a reason to start looking at EPO foam receiver ready models. The plane comes pretty much just the way you see it. You add your receiver and your battery, and you're ready to fly this thing. And paint job and everything comes just like you see it. Be sure to check out my other videos. This is part 3 of a 3-part series on the airplane. Part 1 is the unboxing. Part 2 is the building guide, where I just give you a couple of tips. This plane really doesn't need a whole lot, but I have a few tips to help you get the thing going. To give you a brief overview on this thing, starting up front with the motor, it's a giant 50, 60, 300 kV brushless outrunner that's driving this really nice 17-inch 4-bladed scale propeller. There's an 85 amp ESC in there with an all-new upgraded 8 amp onboard BEC to drive all about 13 servos in this thing. Most all of them are digital. It runs on a 6-cell pack. I'm running 3,300. I'm also running a 4,000 in there, but you can even go 5,000, 6,000. There's plenty of room up here for really almost any size battery you want to put in there. But it is 6-cell powered. All the servos in this thing, again, there's about 13 of them in here. Most of the flight controls, the ailerons, elevator, rudder, are all powered by 25-gram Metal Gear digital servos, so they're almost like standard size servos. Flaps are all driven by 17-gram Metal Gear digital servos as well. And all the gear doors, even the tail wheel door, they're driven by 9-gram servos. Let me give you a quick look at the inside of this thing. Pete's going to zoom in here as best as he can, but you can see how the canopy, it tongue and grooves here in the back. It's got magnets up front to hold it in place. Huge battery compartment. I'll try and get it here so Pete can get it, see it. Plenty of room for a receiver. You can see lots of space in here. You can see your elevator and rudder servos already pre-mounted, and again, all the servos come pre-installed in this thing. As I put the canopy in, you can see it just tongue and grooves, and then it just kind of, with a magnet, it just kind of, 2 magnets up front, it kind of sticks in there. Now I'm going to spin the thing around, show you the underside of this thing, and you can see here, this plane breaks down for transport very easily. There's 4 screws to put this thing together, 4 screws for the tail. The entire airplane is pretty much together. All you need to do is attach your horns and your rods, and again, the airplane's ready to fly. But transporting this airplane is really simple. 4 screws here, the whole wing comes off. There's single point connectors, folks, for each wing, instead of having, an aileron, a flap, a retract, light connectors, all that. There's just a single point connector for each wing, and when you take these 4 screws out, the wing actually splits in half, so each wing half is actually separate. So it breaks down really easy for transport. Now, the retractable landing gear on this stuff, on this plane, is simply awesome. All metal trunnions in here. You can see here tons of suspension and big 4-inch wheels, guys, to handle most grass surfaces. Now let me go ahead and retract the landing gear so you guys can see what that looks like. You see the tail wheel goes in, main gear rotates, and a few seconds later all 3 gear doors close nicely. Isn't that nice? They're pre-programmed with slow down mechanisms, so you get that scale look of the wheels going up and down. Let me go ahead and extend the gear for you. Same thing, doors open up. And isn't that sweet? Very scale retract. Lots of suspension in the tail wheel as well too for grass surfaces. Now taking a look at all the servos here, one thing I want to show you was the hatch back here actually. There is a hatch back here, magnetic. They've thought about a lot of things on this airplane, and this lets you get into the tail retract servo and maintenance other things. Now the flaps on this are really sweet. You can see all the servos are pre-installed, but the flap servos right here. All 3 flap segments work on this thing, and they're just like this right out of the box. You can see as I extend them how nice they are. Now they don't have a slow down mechanism built into them, but you don't need it. The plane hardly changes pitch and so forth. Now the nice thing about these flaps is that they're very functional on this airplane. A lot of RC models, the flaps, you know, they look cool, but they don't do a lot for the airplane. This airplane, the plane comes in with a crawl and does a beautiful wheel landing with full flaps, which you'll actually see in the video. Anyway, guys, I've got this thing plugged in and ready to go. Quick flight control check, and we'll get this thing out to the runway and give you a flight demo of the FMS 1700mm F4U Corsair from MotionRC. I'll set the takeoff flaps in, and we'll taxi on out. You can see how nicely this thing taxis on grass. It's just outstanding to handle. And I'll do some S-turns here. See how nicely it drives. I get it lined up on the center line here. And away we go. A little bit of right rudder, half throttle right now, guys. Flying full, and she lifts right up into the air. Gears coming up, flaps are coming up. And you can see it just flies like a dream, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and bring her on in for just sort of a slow pass, clean for you. You can see how nicely she flies. Very smooth warbird, guys. Very aerobatic. Will do almost anything you want it to do. Now to show you how slow we can actually go with it, I just went ahead and put full flaps in for you. And we're going to show you a very, very slow pass here. Look at that. All ready for carrier landings. All right, now something else to note about it, has a lighting package on it as well, 2 real nice landing lights and wingtip lights, all wired in and ready to go. Now I'll bring it up a notch, full throttle here, bring her by fast, and you can just see how smooth that is. I'll bring it up for a Cuban 8. All right. Even in this light, you can see those landing lights. Just a stellar performing model, folks. Give it full throttle here. I'll work right into some steep turns. Outstanding performing plane, guys. Again, hard to believe this is an EPO foam model. It is just impressive what it does. And I will depart on the downwind and bring it back on final and show you what the inverted stability is like on this thing. It'll roll right upside down. That inverted gull wing acts almost like a high wing, guys. And it almost turns the airplane into a high wing. Most Corsairs are this way, but this one has just some exceptional inverted stability. Very smooth model. Bring it by again, just leave it inverted here. Nice, she flies, nice and smooth. Can't get over how nice that is. All right, I'll bring her onto the downwind here. Series of rolls. It'll just roll all day. It's a fighter plane. Corsair rolls very fast. Real impressive. Go into a presentation pass for everybody. We'll look at the top side of the plane. Absolutely gorgeous. Just impressed with this thing. Go into some point rolls here. Just outstanding. Can't get over this thing. For all you that are used to flying wood airplanes, big gas airplanes, this plane to me is sort of a game changer. It's big, it's electric, does everything well, it's very inexpensive, builds easy with some screws. and just real easy to fly. Now I'll go ahead and extend the landing gear here. Put full flaps in. Wheels are coming down, and we'll make a touch and go out of this. Awesome. The suspension in this gear really works just fantastic. Wheels are coming up nicely. Now this time I'm going to cross the fence and go ahead and put the landing gear down so everybody can see the gear kind of cycle here. All right, gear's coming down. Doors are opening. You'll see those wheels coming down nicely. Just spectacular. Now we're doing this all in real time for everybody so you can really get an idea how nice this flies and get an idea of the flight time. I've burned about 2,700 milliamps out of a 4,000 battery right now. So it definitely gives you plenty of flight time. Full flaps are awesome on this airplane. Just like landing on a carrier, it lets you really slow this thing down. Beautiful. Just can't get over this thing. Flaps are coming up. I'll drive her on back. All right, guys, what can I say? The FMS 1700 millimeter F4U CORSAIR. Again, check this thing out at MotionRC. I am just simply blown away by this airplane. Again, it's hard to believe that this is an EPO foam receiver ready model that comes with everything. You just put your receiver and your 6-cell battery in and you're good to go. Motor, speed controller, servos, paint job, retracts, lights. You've got 2 landing lights and 2 wingtip lights. It comes pretty much just the way you see it, and as you saw from the flight demo, it's just a phenomenal flying airplane, very easy to fly. Anyway, guys, thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to check out the 2 links at the end of the video again, where I do an unboxing and really show you the parts up close so you can see what they look like. And again, sort of a building and a tips sort of guide. And even though the plane doesn't need much, there's a few little things I did to it that improve it and really make it a little better for you guys, help you guys get it going. Anyway, guys, once again, thanks for checking out this video. Thanks for checking out RC Informer, and we'll see you next time.